Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a closer look at Odetari featuring Soyeon of i-dle. This is Don't Die. This was a unique song that I really actually did enjoy. I had never heard of Odetari before my reaction. If you want to see that, that's on the main Jeff Reacts 12 channel. Um, but obviously, I was initially drawn to the song for Soyeon's presence, and she did not disappoint. But despite all of that, as I do most of these videos on this channel, even though I've reacted, I haven't gotten to dig into the lyrics and my interpretation of them. So that's what we're gonna do in this video. I think that takes care of everything. Like I said, if you just want the reaction, check that video out. But this will be where I talk about more of the lyrical actual meaning and at least my interpretation of it. So let's get started. Love that little synth effect, little synth, and the auto tune as well. Little hyper pop EDM action. Soyeon looking amazing. Now we got some retro. She is so fine. I swear. Killing me. Ain't your babysitter. I love her soft harmony with him there. Okay, this is where she's about to come in. So up to this point, she has understood the assignment. Just sit there and look hot, right? That's it. But she's about to come in with her flow, which I also really love. And obviously, we appreciate her talent just as much as her appearance. But that's all she's done is she sit there and look good, right? You can't fault me for noticing that. But he actually surprised me. Like I said, I had never heard of Odetari before doing the reaction. He is an American rapper, and he's, from what I can tell, I before this video I looked him up just a little bit and found that he does do, like, this is kind of a signature sound of his. Like, I don't know if every song is the same, obviously, probably not, but like this up-tempo EDM and hyper pop type of sound. But let's talk about his lyrics. So we got "Don't die, need you to stay by my side, don't die." And then apparently Soyeon says, "Tari, get over here." Get over here. A little scorpion. Um, so we open with the chorus after that intro. So "Don't die, I need you to stay by my side, don't die, you're the only one I have in this life." So not sure if he's talking to a friend or a lover at this point, or maybe even a family member. But given, excuse me, given that he deliberately chose a female to be opposite of him and to literally sit there and look attractive for the first 1 minute and 49 seconds of the song, I have to think this is probably geared towards a romance. Also, because American pop is different than K-pop, right? With K-pop, when we hear love songs, they can be love songs, and sometimes they genuinely are, but most love songs are like fan songs. That's not a thing here in America. If you're not familiar with Western pop and you're listening from Korea or Japan or something like that, just know Western pop is much more straightforward. If we're talking about love, we're pretty much talking about romantic love and or sex. Um, I'm not saying sex is involved here. We don't know anything about that yet, but I'm just saying love. Okay, post course, so don't die. That's what my mama telling me every time I gotta catch that flight. So anytime anytime he leaves, obviously mom is like, be safe. Your parents worry. My mom tells me stuff all the time. Like I coughed one time on the phone with her the other night, and she was like, "Are you sick? Are you okay?" Like, I coughed once. I'm fine. Like, so, like, I could just picture her saying, like, "Don't die." Um, but then, yeah, the next line actually says, "So don't die, don't die." That's what my friends keep on telling me. They only talk to me online. Don't die. So I actually like how he like kind of stutters or glitches there with that, because it almost reinforces the idea of the online and the sometimes tentative connection that you would have to someone online. Like if the signal gets weak, you might start having stuttering and stuff like that. But also because this connection to people online, especially if they're only online, is not as genuine usually as it would be if you were friends in person. I have, as a gamer, a Twitch streamer, and a YouTube creator, I have plenty of friends like you guys who might interact with me, might wish me well, we might chat, we might play games together, whatever. I have plenty of friends that are only online friends. But is that connection as deep and real as, my friend from Seattle who comes down, or my friend across town who, I hang out with and work with? No. Because I see them, I interact with them, I do things with them, I build that bond. It's a bit different, and most of you guys are the same way. You have people you interact with on social media, your little mutuals or moots as you call them. I've always hated that word, but I'm a little older, so whatever. uh but yeah, it's this idea that there's the online and the physical, and regardless, there's like, be safe, don't die, like you're valuable to us. Then his actual verse, which I imagine is where we're going to get more depth here. So, paint a picture, hang it on that wall. Um, Not sure if he's kind of referencing like fantasy type of idea here. We had physical and digital, but when you're saying paint a picture, it could be, realism, like a picture's worth 1,000 words, or, that phrase, like take a picture, it'll last longer. Like if you had a painting, you could either make it realistic or you could make it like a fantasy type, where you're like creating your own world. Shout out to Bob Ross. Uh, Trying to play with scripture so you don't feel that wrong. So you're caught up in, and either you or he is caught up in something that may not necessarily be uh, above board, let's say. So trying to play with scriptures is like trying to use religion to justify or to escape the consequences of what your actions are. Um, and not just trying to justify it, but also trying to absolve yourself, right? Like if you've done something wrong, and you can twist the scriptures, or in this case play with the scriptures of your faith to, kind of be like, oh well, it was okay if you take this verse like this. The there's some meaning there, and you'll oftentimes see people use religion to justify negative actions. Drink the liquor so you don't feel no wrong. So now we're dealing with substance abuse. I ain't your babysitter. I ain't gonna play your song. I feel like this is kind of like yeah, I'll look out for you, but I'm not in charge of you. I'm not responsible for your life. Like you still have to take ownership of that. But also, I'm not gonna play your song. Like I'm not gonna cater to you and your maybe your addictions or whatever. So okay, pre-chorus. I'll send you a goodbye. I keep noticing lies. So overall, now I'm starting to get the picture that maybe this is a person who's singing to, like I said, it could be a friend or a lover, whatever, who has their own demons they're fighting, and you know they're trying to be there for them, but I keep noticing lies. Like you have those people who manipulate you or are just pathological liars who like they lie for no reason. Um, it, I don't even know if I'm on the right track at this point. Like I've talked about individual lyrics and now I'm trying to like interpret as a whole. I think I'm close, but I could be off. Then again, I don't know if there's a correct answer here, but let's check out Soyeon's verse. She's got flow and vocals. Okay, so Soyeon's verse. I've been jumping planes holding a hand grenade. So this is almost like the response to, his verses of like noticing this person struggled, right? Like now she's coming in and talking about like I basically have been self-destructive. I'm jumping out of planes. I'm holding hand grenades. Parry to the floor with some gnarly grave. I actually don't understand that line. I just see the word grave and I assume that she's taking this lifestyle to the end. Like gonna die. Even though the song is like don't die. Mama telling me I got a death wish. Holding on for life. Wait, a French kiss. So it's almost like there's this sensuality, this dance with life and death here, like you're teetering on a knife's edge. There's a character in an anime that I used to watch, and it was what was that show? It was Gundam Wing, actually, and it was I don't remember the character's name. If you've seen the show, there's basically two female leads. There's Relena Peacecraft, and then there's the other one, the blonde. And I don't remember her name, but her character wanted war to break out because she loved the beauty and the romanticism of war and death and all this other stuff. So that's the kind of imagery I'm getting with this sensuality and like I want death around. I want to tempt death, and like I said, like there's this dance around it. But you, the one, can't let me down, can do me special, so like you can save me. Ride or die, I'm yours for life. I'm on your level. Fast as lightning, your eyes roll. Yeah, like a saddle. Okay, now we're having sex. So it's no longer about ambiguous about whether it's a family member, a friend, or whatever. I mean, I guess it could be friends with benefits, but it's most likely just a love interest that, and now she's, you can save me, maybe even from myself. You can deliver me from this. I'm lying for you. So maybe they've both got demons that they're fighting here. Because he's saying that he's noticing lies. But she's saying, I'm lying for you. Like, I'm whatever it is that I'm lying about, it's to help you, to cover it up for you. Um, Then the pre-chorus that she does here. Oh, I only want to die with you. I only want to lie for you. I only want to hold right here. Die with me. So now we've got almost an element of toxicity, like a beautiful type of bond, but almost like she wants to drag him down with her, um, and wants him to come willingly, essentially. Um, I don't I don't know if that's accurate, but it feels right. And sometimes you got to go with feeling when you're thinking about these kind of lyrics. So certainly let me know if you guys are taking this a different way, though. It's like some Bonnie and Clyde stuff. By the way, this chorus now, think back to the chorus. It's the same chorus, but think back to it when we heard it earlier. And it was like somebody was telling him, don't die. But now after her verse, and where, she's essentially got this death wish, and she's playing with death, now it's like him almost begging her, like, don't die. You're the only one I have in this life. So we went from essentially like his mother telling him don't die and his friends telling him don't die to him telling her don't die. That wink though. That was a slick camera transition right here too. Like, watch this again. Watch how like it shows him, and then as the shadow swipes, it turns into Soyeon's face. So don't die. That was borderline seamless. Impressive. Alright guys, so that was Don't Die from Odetari featuring Soyeon of i-dle, and like I said, I enjoyed this, and there was a bit more depth to the lyrics than I expected from when I first heard it. With the reaction, I'm just kind of, vibing. I'm, appreciating her appearance, her flow, his flow, the sound of the music, but I'm not really paying attention to lyrics. But when I do these videos and I actually get to review message and my interpretation, it gives me a more of an appreciation for the song, and I hope it helps you guys do the same. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell to enable your notifications. And if you want to get a request on here or on the main reaction channel, you can either subscribe to Patreon at the gray tier or higher. Shout out to our friends who have done that. Thank you guys so much for your support. Patreon subscribers that are gray tier and above get access to all the content over there in addition to your monthly request. But if none of that interests you, then you can check the description below. There's a link to PayPal and instructions on how to use it, so feel free to take a look, and I will see you for the next video. Take care, everyone.